Hey, everybody, and welcome to another Music Monday. I'm Sabrina Taylor, creator and host of Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide. Hey, listen, I am so glad that you guys are here. I have a very, very special guest. I always say that, I know, and I'm not going to change it. No. Why? Because, and I'm going to turn my volume down as well, because all my guests are absolutely amazing. And yes, I have an amazing artist tonight. His name is Judah Seeley. He is here. I'm starting to do what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to get your handheld. You see me there? I see me there. I want you to start sharing and letting everybody know we are on the air. I'm starting to see comments. I see in the single eye, people are starting to watch. You're popping in. Yes, indeed. We are happy to have you on. I'll share a little bit more during the show. But listen, come on in, take a seat, get your glass of wine. I hope you have a nice glass. I like I this is like a toss up. Uh, Pinot Grigio or Riesling. It depends on what day of the week it is. Adult beverages are always good. Yes. Yeah. Grab yours. And I see again more comments are coming up. It is going to be a wonderful night. I want to introduce you to the guest of the evening, and his name is Saxophonist. Well, that's not his real name, but you know what I mean. Judah Seeley. Hey, Judah.
Hello, how are you?
I gave you a new first name. His name is Saxophonist.
First,
Judah Seeley.
honest, I'll take it.
Because you do so well with it. It's so amazing to hear you um, lose yourself in your music, and that's what I really, really love about listening to you. So it's been a long time, my friend.
Yes, it has.
Long time. 2000?
Yeah, the world.
2020? I'm sorry, 2020.
Yeah, 2020 is a different,
20.
different place, different time, different everything. But
I know. I know. I know. The first time though, as we were sharing back of house, the first time you came on literally as a guest.
mhm,
And I think that's how I met you.
mhm.
Not quite sure how I was introduced to you. I think I just heard you somewhere ish. Do you know that's how most of them get on here. It's like, ooh, I gotta have him, or ooh, I gotta have her. And then I loved you so much. We also remember we did the Indie Creatives United.
I remember. Yeah,
That was an amazing show with so many like like the cream of the crop. And it wasn't intentional,
hmm.
everybody was going through COVID, you know, but you guys just seemed to embrace it to the point of saying, okay, it is what it is. I'm going to make the best of it, and you just did your thing. And that's kind of what I said, okay, these are leaders among leaders, and I want to encourage the other creatives who are saying, I can't think, I can't create, help, kind of thing, right? So you guys did an amazing job. I might have to just pull that thing out and just do a replay.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And I remember. I couldn't remember everybody was there, but I remember that the great Napoleon was part of it.
That's right. Oh my God. We did have him. Now that's definitely worth a replay, you know? Um, I miss him. I miss him so much. I really do. But you know what, Judah, you've grown tremendously
Thank you.
since the last time you were on the show. I mean, the sound, your confidence, your style, everything about you have like kind of evolved.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that. I mean, it's a journey. I'm learning every song that I put out. Every time I produce a song, it's always a learning experience. I didn't come into um, this field knowing a lot, and the more I do, the more I learn. So I'm glad that it's noticeable that I'm growing as an artist. So
Oh,
thank
you are. And I mean, in just leaps and bounds. I see you all over social.
you.
And you're just your head is in the right place.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can tell that you're meaning that you're focused. Do you know
I
what I
am.
mean?
Yes.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, that you're. Oh, absolutely. So, how have your voices changed? I mean, when I first met you, what voice sax were you playing when I first connected with you? Do you remember?
Yeah. This probably. Do you mind if I show you?
I
Well,
don't mind at all. Sure.
this is the same horn I've been playing. This is my tenor. It's a Calworth, Julius Calworth Shadow tenor. This is my main horn. It's my voice. This is my main tool that I use for most of my recordings. So I mean the tools that I use haven't changed. I guess my perspective has changed. Life has
Yeah.
changed. It's I used to create from a place of wouldn't this sound cool, right? But then as life happens and your
Hmm.
priorities shift and things, you create from a well, what do I want to say to people? What do I want to communicate to the people that listen to my music? And every song that I put out is like a milestone marker in my life, depending on what is going on. So it's just my priorities have shifted, and I'm just more like, what do I want to communicate to the people that listen to me?
Right, right. Because that was going to be my next question. Like, what does it look like from one style or one voice to another? Does that depend on what you're going through in life, where you are in life?
I for me personally,
Hmm.
find that when your heart is connected to something, it means so much more. It doesn't matter
Right,
what it is,
right.
whatever your field is. When your heart is connected to what you're doing, it means so much more. So it depends what I'm going. I can put out a song that sounds cool, but if my heart is not connected to it, then it won't mean as much to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you get stuck in, well, I want to do a sound like this because it sounds successful, or it'll get
Sure.
more plays if it has this type of beat or whatever. But I'm more of a place of, like I said, I when my heart is connected to it, what I'm going through in life, it
Right.
when that informs the music that I create, it means so much more to me. So
Hmm.
whenever I talk to my promoter and we're like, well, what song do you want to put out? I give him choices usually, and I usually say, I hope he picks this one because my heart is connected to this one more
Sure.
opposed to this one that just sounds nice. You know what I mean? So yeah, it usually depends on what I'm going through in my life that informs the type of music that I make. So
Absolutely. I can see that. I can see that. Share some of your, and I'm sure I've asked this before, but I think as we get older, we evolve. Now, and before I ask a question, I'll kind of identify a little bit more with it in that when I was younger, uh, my one of my favorite artists, and still today, at that time was Yolanda. Can you believe it? Yolanda Adams.
I'll be on
I,
that.
I love her. Right? That you remember the Southeast Inspirational.
Sorry, I was gonna say her CD Mountain High Valley Low. I wore that CD out because that had Open My Heart on it, which I love that song. So that
Hmm. Hmm.
songs on that album. That one, um, what is it? In the midst of it all,
Yep.
was it was the last song on the CD. It's already all right.
Yep.
Like yeah, I wore that CD out.
Yeah. Absolutely. And she was like at that time, like she was. I was all things Yolanda.
mm,
And then I became all things Whitney.
mm,
You see what I mean? And then as I got older, it was all things Anita Baker.
mm.
So have you evolved? Have you found that your influences have evolved?
Um, Actually, not really,
Hmm.
because they have. I'm always open to anything that sounds good. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And I
Yep.
usually when I hear it, but some of my favorites have been my favorites. Now, my favorites as a musician, I love Kirk Whalum. Kirk Whalum is my favorite.
Ooh, I know.
He's just, I talk about him all the time, and it's my favorite saxophonist. I love him. I love the way he plays. I love the way he, his approach to music and life in general. Just his sound on his instrument is just, I just love him. He's my main inspiration. I love Gerald Albright.
Of course, who doesn't?
I know, like Gerald is he's just so amazing. Gerald, Boney, and even some, Marcus Anderson. Um,
Ooh,
I mean, there's so many I can name. Some Andy Snitzer. Uh,
yes.
you name them, and I can, I can call them out. Dave Kaz, of course. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I love those guys. My first time hearing the saxophone was Kenny G, and because my mom used to play him around the house, and so
Yep.
I'm hearing him. His Breathless album, I still listen to that. I grew up on that. So, but when I was coming up as a musician, my favorite artists are still my favorite artists. So like the ones you named, like Whitney,
Mm-hmm.
Anita. I
Yep.
few guys in high school that was listening to Anita Baker. I mean, Whitney Houston. Just because that was what my mom played, and I just liked. It just started. It spoke to me. So. I love Michael Jackson. I love Prince. I love Maxwell. Maxwell's my favorite artist.
Ooh.
And so, like, Luther Vandross, Donny Hathaway. There's so many, but those have been my favorites because their music is timeless. You know what I mean? They were my favorites then, and then my favorites now.
Yeah.
And it's just they. I mean, and Frankie Beverly.
Yeah. Who doesn't like Frankie Beverly? I will revoke your life card if you don't say, not just your black card. I mean, your whole just it's over. Just rest in peace.
I, that
Ah, I love them. Those are all just immaculate artists that you named.
Yeah, they influenced me greatly. And Frankie passing was that hit me harder because
Yeah.
I love Frankie. I've loved him since I was that was my a part of my I posted this long stat when he passed that he was a part of my awakening as a musician because I was getting tired of what was on the radio. I was I wasn't I moved I was in college. I was living with my dad, so I wasn't listening to a lot of the same stuff. So I was trying to find some new things to listen to. And on the radio, the music wasn't on the radio anymore, at least to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
As I awakened as a musician, I started to get very, to me, and I'm probably going to lose a lot of fans for this. Um, when Usher came on the radio with that song, yeah, to me, that was like the decline of real music for me. Even though I love that song, I mean,
Uh-oh.
love, I love all things, music, but as a 17-year-old or whatever in college,
Sure.
and that came on the radio, I'm like, what is this? It's only two notes, do 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 do. You know what I mean? I was not feeling it. I was like, no, where's the real music at?
I love the I love the transparency, Judah.
The real. At the time I was not feeling it, so I was trying to find new things to listen to, and I couldn't listen to on the radio. This was before iTunes.
Oh my god.
So my at the church that I was going to at the time, this gentleman, he let me hold a few CDs, and one of those there was two CDs. It was the Gap Band, the greatest hits of the Gap Band, and the
Right.
of Frankie Beverly. And I remember hearing the CD, and I'm like, my mom used to play this when we were cleaning the house, but I didn't know who it was or what it was. And I wore that CD out. I knew every song on there. And before long, fast forward years later, I went to his concert. The second time I saw him four times in concert, four times. And the first time I went, and me and my friend went, and it was great. The second time I opened up for him, I was a part of a band that opened up for him, and then the third time and the fourth time. So I love Frankie, and so I was really really hurt when he passed. So, but
Yeah, that did something to me too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I had a problem with it.
Yeah. Me
a real problem.
too.
And so of course I quickly got past that. But what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
He's passed. But that broke my heart, like hearing Whitney pass. It was
Yeah.
like a sister had passed, right? And then this was just, but it was like the Frankie Beverly scenario always takes me back to my youth in Chicago.
Mm.
My family, and I talk about this quite a bit, but my dad was a trucker. When he had a lot of time, he would put us all in what we call the station wagon. You remember those?
Yeah.
And we would just hightail it to Chicago. And
Oh,
we'd spend about a week or so with his sister. She had a nightclub called the Tam Tam.
oh, all right.
And it was like I was living with a celebrity.
Mm,
And when we would walk up to her house,
mm.
guess who was playing?
Oh, yeah.
Maze,
Mm,
featuring Frankie Beverly, Earth, Wind, and Fire,
hmm.
Rick James, Tina Marie, all that great R&B music. It stuck with me.
Mm.
And Peebo Bryson,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Of
know what I mean? Just some Marvin, can't forget Marvin Gaye.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, so I totally get it. We're talking, and I just have flown past my ID, my break time. So listen, hang on. This is great conversation. I am loving it. And people are coming in, and there are comments, and I'm trying to put them up as they come in. But definitely want to take a quick break. There was something that, as we were talking, that I just off the cuff thought about. I will begin the second segue or the quarter segue with it. So hang out with us, Judah, and we'll be right back in just a moment. Everybody, I'm so glad you're in. Listen, please do a favor for me, and that's get your hand held out. If you haven't already, share and let everybody know I'm talking to the amazing Judah Seeley on tonight. It's been 4 years since I've seen Judah. And he's just an amazing creative. And there's so much more we are going to talk about tonight. But until then, yeah, we got a little bitty break and we'll be back, okay, in just a moment or two with our special guest, Judah Seeley, on Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide. The Platinum Agencies is taking the indie brand to the next level with customized strategies that includes interviews on Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide and promotional campaigns on social media. Listen to what these artists have to say about us. Daryl Anders of Agape Soul says Sabrina Taylor has created a brilliant platform to showcase unsigned and independent artists. She's been a great resource for increasing awareness and helping me to build my brand. International guitarist Gary Purcell says Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide offers a platform for unsigned artists to showcase and put themselves in a position where people can have an opportunity to learn about the artist in an up-close and personal setting. Sabrina Taylor does a great job making you feel comfortable and can really present the artist well to the audience. And it does not hurt that she has a smooth voice. The Platinum Agencies, better known as TPA, brand ambassador for indie artists on social media. Connect with the Platinum Agencies at gmail.com. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm Sabrina Taylor, creator and host of Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide. I was just checking out everything. Looks great, looks grand. People are sharing. Thank you so much. This is how we support the artists. That is why I do it every Monday. This is a way that the artists, if they have new music that's out, your people can tell a couple people, and they can tell a couple people, or they can see it in your feed. and they can listen to the artist on Spotify quick, fast, and in a hurry. Yep, I like Spotify because it helps to suggest other like minded artists. So I listen to Spotify quite a bit. I'm not pushing it, they're not paying me to do this, but yeah, this is how I'm finding some of the artists that I'm bringing on. And I've got some surprises coming up before the end of the year. Oh, and I want to say, if you have new music that you want to promote on the show, please send me an email to unsignedartistreveal at gmail.com, and our team will review it and see if we can get you on. Now, listen, I am going to wrap up this year probably right before Thanksgiving. So you have now until about 2 weeks into November to get on this show. Then I got to take a break, and then I'll come back on in January of next year. So that's how it rolls here, right, Judah?
Right.
This is how we do it. Oh, wow. Do you know what? Before I went to break, as we were talking, I just kind of wondered if you could play with anybody. We did mention quite a few people who've kind of passed on. If there was anybody that you could have played with that's not here, or could play with that's here now, who would that be?
That's here now.
Yeah.
The Babyface.
I've been hearing a lot about that. Why Babyface? What is it about him that you love?
Because he's just. I mean, I went to a concert, Babyface, a couple months ago.
Ooh.
Just, I knew every song.
Yep.
Amazing show, and the
Yep.
saxophone for him is incredible. By the way, his name is Brian Thompson, so shout out to him. But it's just, I would love to play for an artist that I listen to. You know,
Sure.
because like I said, when your heart is connected to it, it means so much more. It's more than a gig. It's more than, it's like you're living inside the music, if that makes sense. So
Yes, it does.
being able to translate that through an instrument to an audience is just a wonderful feeling. So especially when it's music that you grew up listening to and loving and things like that. So I would love to, but his show is it's the best show I've ever seen. It's
I
the
agree.
best scene. He's dancing. They got
Yep.
choreography. They jumping up and down the stage. The backgrounds, and I'm like, I can't do all that. You know what I mean? Cool. And I'll belt out the notes, but as far as jumping and dancing and all that, I'll leave that to the young folks. But
I agree with you because I went to a Babyface concert. Was it last year? Ish. I think it was last year, maybe the year before. But everything that you said, that part, it was an amazing show. He sang every song that he had written, well, the most popular songs
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
he had written for other people. And
Mhm.
and everybody was singing it. That's the great part. I love the unity in that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And
Yeah.
that was when I went to see Frankie. That was like that too. Like when his voice was long gone,
Hmm.
at the audience singing it, everybody word for word.
Oh, wow.
This is a feeling that you don't get with the music of today. You know what I mean? It's not, no shade to anybody or anything. It's just that communal family atmosphere. And it's like I sung. This song was played at a family reunion. This song was played at a wedding. This song was played at such and such. You know what I mean? And we
Yep.
all sing it, and it's just great music. I just love great music.
I do too. I do too. And I love how we kind of segue because, like, for this part of the segment, I wanted to talk about collaborations, and I see you collab quite a bit. So, but I love that though. I think that when you collab, you learn from other people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you create a camaraderie, a brotherhood, a sisterhood, whatever, whoever, is collaborating. Um, but my thought is, how do you maintain your identity without kind of getting lost in the collabs, and or among other sax players? How do you keep your identity as Judah Seeley, the
That's
solo artist?
that's a great question. Well, as far as the collaboration part, usually artists, I the only person that I'm really that I've been collaborating with is probably my brother Deepak Fetu. Um,
Yes.
I produce all of his music, with the exception of one song that he has out. But I produce all of his radio singles. I produced, and that is a collaboration in the sense of, in some cases he would say, "Hey, I have this idea for a song. Can you take it, do what you do?" You know what I mean? And I've done that. You know what I mean? But it was never. It was also trying to make sure, because I know him as an individual, so you don't want to like push your identity on him. You want to bring out his identity. You want to bring
Sure.
vision through your lens, if that makes sense.
It does. Sure.
So you don't want to take over and do something that's completely uncharacteristic of him. You know what I mean? So
I do. Mhm.
that's the most the most positive experiences that I've had as a producer and collaborator are when there's a mutual respect and trust there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They say, "I came to you because I know because I know you do this, you do that. Help me do this or do whatever you do." You know what I mean? So though those are the best when they're like, "I respect you as an artist, you respect me as a producer. Let's make something great."
I love that.
That's a great feeling. You know what I mean? And it
Mhm.
doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's like this is how it's supposed to be. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, DJ CD, he's on here and he made a statement. He said one of his favorite collabs is um, with Gary Smoot and Judah Seeley.
Yes, 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 yes. Gary Smooth. That was awesome. So he reached out to me. He said, "Hey, bro, I want you to play on this track." And I was like, "Yeah, man. Let's do it." Like I am very open to playing on
Look at you.
anybody's record. So like if somebody reaches out to me and says, "Hey, can you play on this track?" It's usually a done deal. You know what I mean? And I do it pretty quick. So because I love to make my own music, but my goal as a musician is to make quality music. So, and make my mark on the world as a musician making quality music. It's not about making myself famous or making money. Those things are cool, but
Sure.
when someone asks me to play on their record, I consider it an honor. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, there's money changes hands and things like that,
Of
but
course. Of
you know
course.
I'm honored. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So he sent me the track. I played on it. He liked it and he put it out. And yeah, that was that.
Then in hearing you say most of the times, it's a done deal. When are the times when you would just absolutely say no?
Ooh, I don't think I've ever said no to someone that wanted me. I can't imagine a scenario where I would say no. Oh, so I know my strengths as an artist, as a
Mhm.
musician, as a saxophonist. I
Sure.
know that contemporary jazz is where contemporary jazz, especially with an R&B feel,
Mhm.
that's where I thrive, and I know that I can do the record justice within my skill set.
Sure.
So, but if it's a song that's like, too, I don't want to say, because, it's their art. So you don't want to say, well, this is not great. It's like, no, it's great. It's the way that they express themselves. I just know that I wouldn't be able to do it justice because it's outside of my skill set as a saxophonist. You know,
Right.
that would be the only time where I would say, I could not, I would not be able to do your song justice because I am not skilled at this type of music. You know what I mean? And that would probably be the only time I would say no. Is if it's something
Yeah.
not in my skill set or in my wheelhouse or something that I feel comfortable playing. And we like to think that, oh, I can play anything. It's like, no,
Yeah.
I know that I will not sound good on this record. You know, that's just keeping it real.
No.
I, and you're not gonna like it, and and so let's just not do that. I'm comfortable enough to say that I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. So that's
Sure.
the only situation where I would say, nah, I'm good.
You know who I would love to, and I'm always trying to connect the dots for people. Go
Mm.
figure. But Cy Smith
Cy Smith. I don't think I know Cy Smith.
Oh my gosh, she's got a voice of an angel.
Hmm.
She is, I mean, definitely penned for singing with trumpeter Chris Bodie.
Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Uh-huh. And she kind of reminds me of a Diana Ross. She has that glamour and she has that appeal. Um, she was on the show probably around the COVID time, and I hadn't had her since then, but I definitely want to bring her back.
Mm.
But I can just hear that tenor sax and her voice collaborate
I-
like
oh,
two dancers skating or dancing or a skater skating on ice. I can just hear the union just flow so beautifully.
okay. I like
That's
that.
yeah, that's just in my head. Um, and you've got so many different you've got a lot of people responding about your spirit, how they love your spirit. uh, from Kat Carter. I'm sure you've been on her show. Yes,
Pat Carter. I don't.
Friday Night Live with Kat Carter. If you
Mhm.
haven't, I need you to chat with Kat. She's like a sister to me.
Oh,
She's definitely somebody who you should chat with. My auntie Joan says, "Sounds like Judah Seeley was raised right." Was raised right. Okay,
thank you.
because you have a great spirit, and I know what she's saying, and absolutely. Um, Kat said, "No, he's not been on," and she's hearting because I'm sure she wants to have your presence on her show Friday nights,
Be honest.
literally. If you're not, on the road somewhere, or
Oh, I
but definitely somebody that you should know. Um, and then the label, is it Judah Seeley
Judas.
Music?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing with your label except for, I know a lot of independent artists have their own labels. Is there a vision for it?
Make great music.
Just make
um, so there's a lot that you can do with labels, and I've seen some artists do some really cool things and
Mhm.
some not great things.
Yeah.
I've what I what so the I how do I answer this? As an artist, I just want to make good quality music. So there is a way to posture yourself as a label head and have artists on your roster
Yep.
and make music for them and get all these kind of deals and different things you know where you're making the music for them, and then there's a percentage and cuts and things like that. I
Yeah.
don't I don't I don't feel comfortable doing things like that. Uh,
Hmm.
um, I don't feel comfortable taking a percentage of someone else's music. I don't. Now that's only I would imagine if I was a full time musician, because you're entitled to certain things as the creator of certain things. You are entitled to profit. So it's not like somebody is cheating by saying I am owed a percentage of what you do because I.
Right.
So that there is a precedence for that. So I'm not disrespecting that.
No, I get it.
As at this point in my life where I have a full time job and I just say, hey, this is my fee, and that's all I need.
That's all you want. Yeah.
That's all I want. Now, my fee is small compared to some of my contemporaries, and that's because I respect them so much that
Aw.
I believe that my work is not on par with shout out to Greg Manning, the dopest producer.
Ooh,
I
yes,
love
indeed.
Greg Manning is my guy. He's just phenomenal. He's a genius. I had the pleasure of sitting next to him while he worked on some records and just
Ooh,
them and chopping it up. He took me out to get sushi one time, when I was in Los.
yay.
Yeah, he's just a great guy, and I think a lot of people don't really know how much of a genius he is.
I do. Yeah, he is a genius, man. Just
He's a genius, and so
yeah.
I just he so I charge. I think I don't know what other people are charging, but I try to make sure that mine is a little lower because I just respect these guys so much.
Aw,
But so I just don't. As a label, I just use that to promote myself, to promote
sure.
my music. And if an artist said, "Hey, I want to partner with you," let's see how we can partner this in a way that is financially feasible for both of us.
Both of you. Mm-hmm.
I would be open to that.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, come get on the label so I can take, half of what you make. Like,
Half of what you created, right?
oh,
Uh,
I don't, that don't
mm-hmm.
help me. But I mean, there is a precedent for that, and people,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. Just for me, because I'm just blessed. I'm blessed that I don't have to do that.
Absolutely not. You do not have to do that. But you are an amazing producer. I know that you write. Um, One of my clients has collaborated with you,
Jesse,
Jesse Thompson. Hmm. And so I hear what you're doing with them, and it's like, man, I mean, from late night to Cape Town Coast, that's amazing. You are very, very talented, but I love your ethics.
clarify.
And
Uh,
they say good guys finish last. That's a lie.
well, thank you. I,
That's
I did want to clarify one thing. So with Jesse, those his first song "Late Night" was produced by Adam
Adam
Hawk,
Hawley, right? Exactly,
and
right.
then who's an amazing artist,
Hmm.
amazing amazing label head, amazing producer, amazing artist, amazing everything. Like
Right.
is the formula. He can do it all. He can do no wrong as far as like I said. Like I just I
Yeah.
and for that track, I was honored to be the featured artist, and then for
Right.
um,
Hmm.
I was like a co-producer. So that song started off from a track that I made, and then Adam took it, and Jesse took it, and Donald
Blew it up. Yeah.
expanded on it, and it just became what it is. And I when I heard it, I was like, man, this song is like, I didn't expect what it started out to turn into what it was, and that was just shout out to Adam, to Jesse.
I know. He's an amazing producer. And of course, it wasn't my intention to give you all the props
Oh,
for being for the producer credits of it, because certainly well aware that he produced Late Night and he produced Cape Town Coast, but I know your hands are I know your imprint is in both of them. And so I said that to say you are a phenomenal creative, whether you're writing or producing, because I've heard the results of that.
thank
So I really love it. What are some of your challenges though, that you have as an indie artist currently?
time and money.
Okay.
When I say time and money, meaning the time to finish all of the ideas that I start, and the budget
Mhm.
to everything that I want with them. You know,
Sure.
because a lot what the glamour is releasing the music. The what people don't see behind the scenes is that oftentimes, or pretty much all the time, artists are funding their own projects. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Sometimes they do, GoFundMe's and things like that. I've never done that. Uh,
Mhm.
and it's sometimes we're funding our own projects. So money that we are using to pay our bills, we have to set some of that aside to fund our next project. So
Mhm.
if I had an unlimited time, well, because I'm also a full-time music teacher, full-time single dad. So like if I had like all the time in the world, you know what I mean, and all the budget in the world, I would have probably released like 3 records this year.
Really?
I
Wow. And that was going to be like my next question. But I want to take my last break.
mhm.
And I'm gonna put an asterisk by what I wanted to say, because everything. And you know what, guys, I have not shared with him anything that I wanted to talk about.
We just talk.
And
It's all
huh?
right. We.
But the thing is, it's just authentically
Mhm.
flowing, and I really really love that. So that means that I'm on the right track with Judah Seeley. Gary Purcell says, "Great conversation," and it is great conversation. Kat said he's a music teacher too. Wow, yeah, yeah, very very talented artist, and I'm honored to just be able to say I interviewed him. I interviewed him. I remember when. I remember when. So listen, we're going to take that very last break of the night as I promised, and then we're going to chat about just a few more things. And of course, I want to hear Resurgence, and that's the latest single that you have out. Beautiful song, and I definitely want to premiere it here tonight. So don't you go away. Don't go too far. Stay right there. We'll be back in just a minute. And so, you guys, I am happy to have you on and you're listening and you're enjoying the clinic talk that we're having. I just enjoy doing that. Yep, I'm a brainiac when it comes to music. So listen, don't go too far. We've got more in store. We're going to chat a little bit more and then hear music tonight from Judah Seeley on Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide. The Platinum Agencies is taking the indie brand to the next level with customized strategies that include interviews on Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide, as well as campaigns on social media. Listen to what these artists have to say about us. Soul R&B artist Selena Albright says, "I believe in the Platinum Agencies and the amazing things it will continue to do for independent artists in the future." Not only does Sabrina Taylor have an ear for the best-kept secrets in the music industry, but in a market where independently made music tends to be greatly overshadowed, her platform offers a unique opportunity for all artists to be heard. Some of my favorite interviews of my career have been with Sabrina Taylor. She really knows how to ask the right questions to capture the hidden story behind the music that fans want to hear. And I've always been so moved by her ability to pair her original imagery to my music whenever I visit her platform. Soul jazz artist Cherie Patrice says, UAR is a great platform and source for indie artists to promote, expound, and extend their brand. You can always count on UAR to capture the essence, the heart, and the soul of an indie artist within its presentation. I always feel welcomed, celebrated, and in good hands with its CEO and founder, Sabrina Taylor, who puts her grand touch of elegance and excellence on every artist she comes in contact with. I highly endorse the UAR Worldwide experience. Connect with the Platinum Agencies at tpatheplatinum.agencies.com. Hey y'all, as they say in the South. Yeah, I'm in the South, kind of, sort of. So glad to have you guys on tonight. My friends and the UARW family, you guys are here. Troy Saunders is somewhere floating around in the UARW network. Have you interviewed with Troy Saunders, Judah?
Troy Saunders? No, I haven't.
There's another one. I'm just getting you interviews, and that's free. I'm not going to charge you for it. I'm not going to. I'm not gonna even charge you for it, man.
I
Oh
appreciate
yeah, these are some artists that you would definitely enjoy chatting with. Troy is phenomenal. He's amazing. He's, interviewed some top people just like I have as well. And like I said, Kat just had Beth on this past Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, definitely want you to connect with them so we can keep pushing the Judah Seeley brand. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So I wanted to quickly, before I get into the meat and potatoes, it's like, and I like to hear the responses. There are a lot more singles happening in the music industry than a full blown collection of music, which is what we call a CD. Are you? You're more of a singles um, artist, or what do you say to that?
I believe in albums. I believe in albums. I'm more like that comes down to the time and budget thing. Um,
Got it.
If I had time and budget, I would have finished an album already. But
Ah,
it become so in the game that we're, I don't want to say, in the genre that we're in,
mm-hmm.
those are more of a wiser investment,
True.
a full album, because
Mm-hmm.
think about the state of the music business now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People's attention spans are lower. People don't
Yep.
want to pay for a full album. They rather stream, one song a million times than an album a million times.
True.
It's the nature of the business has changed. It's more cost effective to invest in a quality single than in an album that you may not see a financial return on, and which is unfortunate because when the people that we grew up listening to, they weren't financing their own albums. You know what I mean?
True.
And
That's
they,
true.
you know, paying,
Yeah.
paying them to make albums or whatever the case, or they had contracts that say you need to put out 6 albums in 3 years or whatever.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Whatever it is. So,
Yeah.
as artists that are investing in ourselves, some
Mm-hmm.
the cost may be too great to put out an album every 2 years. You know what I mean? But
True.
I believe in a total and complete, and this is Prince. He would say things like that. I believe in a total body of work that has a theme from beginning to end, as opposed
Right.
the latest collection of songs. You know what I mean? I believe in that. My favorite album is Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite. That's my favorite album of all time.
Yeah.
I just love that. I love Michael Jackson's albums. I love, like Michael Jackson's Dangerous album had a certain sound all the way from beginning to the end. It's just I still believe in albums, and I'm actually yesterday, like a couple of days ago, I was putting out a list of like what do I want my next album to be, and I was putting some ideas together, some songs that I haven't finished, some songs that I have finished, and so hopefully by this time next year I'll have another album. So hopefully, fingers crossed, right?
Yeah. And I can't wait to hear it because I love um, going through journeys with independent artists and hear where they are trying to take us and hear what they are saying
Mm-hmm.
um, on their musical journeys. And so I also want to know about the current single. Let's shift into the music premiere. So, Resurgence, are you the writer, the sole writer?
Sole writer on all of my songs. I'm the sole writer, producer, all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, I have someone else play drums. If I have live drums, I have someone else play drums, have someone else play bass, someone else play guitar. But as far as the writing, composition, and producing, I do it all. So
Yeah. Yeah. What inspired that?
that's a good question. In order to get to that, I have to go back to
Go
the
ahead.
so the last song that I did at the beginning of this year was
Mhm.
called "I'll Be All Right," and I went through some very personal, trying time in the last couple of years, and my music. My last album was called Soar, right, and it was really
Yes.
yeah, that was my last album, and that had my number one single on it, "Stylish," and Set the Tone and Forest. Those are my three radio that album, and so it was really about trying to rise above the tribulation that was going on in my life. And so fast forward to that was in 2022. Fast forward to 2024, my first new song in the midst of coming out of that was "I'll Be All Right." It's like it's very gospely, very it's very uplifting and positive. So I knew that my next song was going to be like, I need a jolt of lightning. I need a jolt of life. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I was sad, you know what I mean? I wanted to soar above my problems. I wanted to tell it, in spite of my problems, I'll be all right. Now I'm past that. You know what I mean? Now
Mhm.
it's time to party. It's time to celebrate. I need a resurgence in my life. You know what I mean? So that song is like the defibrillator, on your life. It's like,
Oh, I love it.
that,
Yeah.
that's what that song is. It's like a resurgence. That's why it starts with a bang, and then as soon as it hits, it's just you're jumping and you're grooving. And I wanted to reflect. That's where I wanted my listeners to know that this is where I am in my life. It's time to, you know. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you did a great job. I love the song. I've been soaking it in all week, and so it is magnificent, just like everything else that you do. Just wonderful. I'm making him blush, but it was really a great song, and I enjoyed finding visuals for it. You know,
Hmm.
that's what I do. So let's go in to this luscious song and enjoy it. We've already got comments coming up. Great interview. Thank you, Michelle from STL Smooth Jazz and Smooth Jazz Harbor. She's got two radio stations now. Um, and so, listen, we are going to get into the meat and potatoes again of why the other reason why we're here. Story is so important, but then so is the music premiere. So let's enjoy Resurgence by our special guest tonight, Mr. Judah Sealy. Enjoy. We'll see you guys in, what, about 3 minutes and 40-ish
Yeah.
seconds?
Kind
Something like that.
of.
Something like that.
Something like
Yeah. We'll be back in just a minute, you guys, and enjoy it. Enjoy. That's music from our special guest tonight, Judah Seeley. It's called Resurgence. I want you guys to go out and download. Did I say download? I think I did. Download. It's an amazing piece. Um, and there are so many comments that are there. It's most people are saying, "Oh my God, I'm up dancing. It's a happy song." For real though, if you don't believe me, then you got to go back right into the chat after it's over and you'll see it all. And Chinyer says, and she's in the UK, so she's up late along with Martin. She says it's a beautiful way to bring in the new month. It's October here. Yay! I love that. I love that. Joe, well, Auntie Joan says it's happy. Happy comes up in my spirit immediately.
Oh,
So I love that. I really do. There's so many more comments, Judah. Please go back and say hello to everybody. Continued blessings and congratulations. I mean, you've got all kinds of comments that are in the chat. People love you. They
oh,
do.
you.
Yeah.
I appreciate.
Yes. Absolutely. So, what's next for Judah Sealing?
Right now, at the I still have my I still have my teaching job. Being a teacher and taking care of my daughter. That's
That's
next.
number one. Yeah.
My priorities are there right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's where they will be. I am putting together the. I was thinking about releasing a cover of a song. I was working. Maybe should I say it? Maybe I should. I don't know. I was thinking about putting out a. I don't know if anybody has ever. I'm a country music fan, so there's this song called Tennessee Whiskey. Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of the name, but I maybe if I hear the song, I'll remember what. Of course, I'll remember what it sounds like. But I've heard the name of the song. Yes.
It's a very soulful, and it was by a country singer named Chris Stapleton. And
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago, I was sitting in with the band, and they did that song, and I was like, I really like this song. So I, I was recording it. I was like, maybe I should put this out just to put it out. So whenever sometimes I get inspired to do little things, and then I just put them out, and then so I might release that before the end of the year, and then
Okay.
which will lead me hopefully by next February I might do another covers volume 2, because at the earlier this year I did a covers EP, which I had This Woman's Work by Maxwell. I had If Only You Knew by Patti LaBelle,
Ooh.
by the Isley Brothers, also by Aaliyah, and um, and then another popular R&B song called Hours and Hours. And I released that earlier this year. So I
Mhm.
might try to do another EP by February, do like another covers EP. And then next year, this time, hopefully have another full length album of original music. Those are my next musical goals at the moment.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Anything for Christmas?
No, no, I don't. My daughter will be with me, so we'll probably just be, experiencing Christmas together.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's probably. I don't have any immediate plans to like travel. I usually do a show every Christmas.
Hmm.
I think I might do another Christmas show. So that's probably what's on the horizon for that. So yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, for those who've just found out about Judah Seeley and have never heard him until tonight, what do you want them to walk away with? What is it that you want to impart into the listener?
Um, ooh, that's the question. That I hope that with every song has a story. All of my songs have stories, and I'm hoping that the message that I want to communicate in each song is felt when you hear it. So, it's when someone says this song makes me feel happy, that's what I want. You know what I mean? When someone says, I mean, I get up and dance, it's like, that's what I want. When my last song, I'll Be All Right, somebody told me that when they listened to it, it made them feel, it made them feel better. It
Oh,
spirits. Like, that's what I want to hear. That is worth so much to me. So my takeaway is that whenever you listen to my music, that you hear what the story I was trying to tell. Sometimes the story is just have a good time. you know,
Right.
so that
Right.
that I mean, that's a great story. Like, hey, this song is so that you can have something to sip some wine to. This song is so when you're driving down the highway, you have music to accompany you when you do. This
Yeah.
song, you have a, a moment with a special someone. This is for that. This song was birthed out of feeling sad and wanted to be uplifted. This song is for that. So every song, has a story, and I'm hoping that when you listen to my music, that you hear the story in every song. So.
Well, I am sure that those who listen will experience just that because Resurgence is a happy, full of life. It's very bright in tone. It is just an amazing song. We want everybody to check out judahsealy.com. That's his hub. That's where everything is. And then, of course, we have your socials there. You're on Facebook, you're on Instagram. Are you on TikTok too?
I have a TikTok page, but there's
Me
nothing.
too. There's
There's,
nothing there for me. No, not at the moment. I'll say it that way. I've got a few things there, but it's not a whole lot. But you are on YouTube,
yes.
and then they can just continue to and of course now the music premiere that we heard tonight, it's available on all digital platforms. Whatever your favorite platform is, you can go and you can find him there. So we have thoroughly enjoyed having you tonight. Rose Lady popped in a little while ago. She said, I was watching the game and I just want to pop in and say hello. And we do appreciate her popping in and saying hi before the end of the show. Some people will get it on the repeat, and that is fine because you're still getting what we want you to get. And that's the wonderful music of our special guest tonight, Judah Sealy. Anything you want to leave artists, and I don't usually do that, but anything you want to leave anybody, whether it's an artist or somebody that's going through, or what's in your heart to share before we go?
Just keep those that were affected by the hurricane, in Florida. Just keep them in your thoughts and prayers, and whatever you can do to help them. I saw the footage, and it's like I could not imagine. So, just be thinking about them, and
Mhm.
you know, yeah, just be safe out there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate, and people are saying their prayers going up. People are following you now. Outstanding interview. I love it. That is what this is all about. So I feel like I have accomplished my mission uh, in getting those who did not know you to follow you because you're going to be thoroughly satisfied with what you hear. You're going to enjoy beautiful sounds of Judah Sealy. It was short but sweet for me. I'll listen to the replay. Okay, sweetheart. But I do appreciate you popping in and staying up late to do so because you're in the UK. Well, all right, everybody. I am going to say good night. Judah, hang on for just a second. Definitely got to do the credits, but listen, I appreciate you guys. We wouldn't have this if you weren't here. So I thank you for all the support, and I'll continue to love on you as you love on me. I pray for you. You pray for me. All right. Remember, what you make happen for others, God will also make it happen for you. I love you guys. You stay safe, and I'll see you next Monday. Take care.